Alright, welcome back everybody. Let's go explore Fort Geronimo. I couldn't think of anything better to say. I'm sorry. Oh, aliens. Nice. Let me get the good ammo. The good ammo. The JISP. Okay, exploding cars. Be mindful of that. Oh wow, there's a bunch of y'all. I just saw another one over there. Your head's kind of squished like grapes, though. Hybrid alien? Hybrid of what? Oh, that's a big motherfucker. I don't think she saw us yet. Oh, hi. Alien Queen. That must make you Marvin the Martian. And I'm Duck Dodgers, I think was what his name was. How much health do you have? You have a lot of health. And you're coming this way. That would be a great time for me to actually pierce through your fucking hide. Oh, Jesus, you're a lot closer than I thought you were. Come on. Oh god, come on, come on, come on. Reload, reload. God, it's fucking jamming. Bad gun. Behave. You're like half broken now too, because I dumped a mag. Oh yeah, what's that xenomorph blood do anyway? AP plus 90, HP minus 10. Yeah, I mean, considering their blood's acid, I can't imagine it's that healthy for you. Size log? I had a weird experience today. I had been checking out the door mechanism in the hangar and decided I'd have a crack at the control panel. Had my PDA with me, but the lighting around there was too poor for poking around with ancient wiring. So I headed to Crab's room to borrow a flashlight. He lives in the mainframe room in the old air control tower, and spends most of his days trying to access restricted data. Despite his pedantic obsessions with the information and numeracy, he's actually the smartest guy I've met here, and surprisingly charming when dragged away from his console. Anyway, I unnecessarily quickly borrowed a flashlight from him and headed back to the hangar to get back to the job in hand. When I entered, there was someone up on the reactor tower, but when they saw me enter, they ran away. Now, the only ways out of that place are the locked main hangar doors, the door I came in through, and the sealed blast door. Yet somehow, by the time I had made it across the room, there was no one to be seen. I even used my PDA's motion and heat scanners, but found nothing apart from a still cold, empty Nuka-Cola bottle. I finally met Kevin. I laid a scanner out in a hangar with a remote camera attached and discovered how he was getting in and out of there. It seems he has figured out the layout of the ventilation shafts and has been moving freely around most of the complex for some time now, with little more than an auto screwdriver for assistance. I waited beside one of the vents for a while, and sure enough, he showed up. This time he didn't run away when I confronted him. He just asked what I wanted, so I asked him where he'd been hiding. He seemed reluctant at first, but after I gave him a couple of bottles of Quantum I had managed to scavenge, he was much more helpful. He got me to follow him to the bunker and told me to wait, then ran off. I nearly ran after him, but thought better of it. About 2 minutes later, the bunker door clicked open, revealing a huge underground lab. Seemingly unfinished, judging by some of the empty rooms, Kevin has some kind of den under the flooring where the main vent leads, but can access the labs through another vent. This is where he found the keys to the bunker. He showed me around the place and talked to me for many hours about his comics. After a long talk, I managed to persuade him to not only return the toys he had stolen, but to give me a key. It's gonna cost me a steady supply of Nuka-Cola, but nothing I can't handle. I'm gonna have to tell the others about this place. Crab will no doubt find plenty of new info on the mainframes down here, but I doubt the others will have any interest. Most of these consoles are not even hooked up to anything, and all the cupboards are empty. You said Crab and Psy. I think we heard Crab's name earlier in a note that we found in the Renwick building. Prague? Kill for Virgil, kill for... oh, no. Oh, even Crab is spooked. Okay, so they went into the factory looking for the vertebrate parts. Okay. So Crab was here previously, and then they left. Ooh, alien power cells. Breaking news. Oh, size log 14. Well, we definitely skipped a few. We have the parts from Renwick. Crab is installing them now. Burton and Francis are staying, of course. Vaz and Sims amazingly have chosen to stay too. Vaz said he had too much invested in the place to just let it go to a bunch of tin cans. Sims just smiled and shook his head. Mrs. Collins and Kevin are on board already. Trenson is guarding the hangar doors. Those robots left them wide open and somehow locked out the mainframe. I set up Vaz's terminal along with this one to receive incoming transmissions. If we spot anything from the air, we can relay that info back to them and anyone else left alive in there. Oh, so did they... I guess that's when they came back from Renwick. Did they actually make that alive? So Crab has been a trained pilot all along too. Should have known. I guess he just liked your fort. Well, I have to admit, I did too. Hang on, what the hell is that? There's some kind of ship, like a flying saucer. Holy shit, I've only seen similar in old propaganda shots. Only this must be 5 times as big as any of those. It's just hovering, some kind of hover propulsion system, but judging by the way it's jerking around, I'd guess it's having problems. No, wait, it's stuck. It's jammed into a rock face. Shit, incoming. Damn, that was close. There's robots everywhere. Some crazy shit down there, like nothing I've ever seen. Zooming in for a better look. Looks like 20 to 30 assorted robots. They are trying to salvage the crash ship. This is some high-tech shit. Vaz, if you're saving anything for a special occasion, I suggest you get it. Ready. Good luck, you guys. Even you, Burton. I hope you find the answers you need. Shit, that was close. Damn, we're gonna have to break for the cover of the mountains. It's gonna be hard to provide any more feedback, but it looks like all the robots were gathered at the end of the valley. That should buy you some time. Good luck. Everyone, this is Tech Lieutenant First Class Susan Utani signing out. Goodbye, Angel Valley. Ah, they made it out. Any more? Oh. I see you. Alien Queen. I see you. Yeah. EM railgun. Oh, there's another one. Activate. Translated message number 5. 99% successful. Local salvage operations have been a huge success. Most of the local buildings are heaps of rubble. Did we already read this one? After rebooting facilities, mainframe. Yeah, I think we did. This is where they're surprised that we nuked ourselves. Yeah. Okay. Message 6. 100% successful. Some kind of craft was spotted exiting the area shortly before our arrival. Evidently, my droids were not 100% efficient when it came to purging this facility. I've sent them to double check and secure every room in this building. On the plus side, we have many breakthroughs today. My droid scouts returned, having found and successfully purged this old military facility. A group of Terrans had fortified the structure against the various threats outside. but they were evidently unprepared for even my ragtag group of salvage droids. From the reports, they successfully eliminated over 30 armed threats with only a single loss. Even better than that, they may have the technology available there to begin work on a new ship. At the very least, they have the space available there to hide it from prying eyes. We even discovered a new species. Judging from the local graffiti, the Terrans refer to them as Deathclaws. They appear to be genetically engineered, most likely another tool of war. I'll see if I can recover a live specimen. So far, they have not outlived their encounters with the T-800s. On a side note, tests on the molecular coding and samples taken at the crash site suggest that we burned up a whole herd of these beasts on crash landing. What a waste. The T-800s are performing to an exceptional standard, though they are no longer following orders relayed through Butler. They don't seem to recognize his authority over them anymore. Did they ever, for that matter? I'm sure they did not. I'm sure they did, but maybe they were within earshot when I talked with Butler. I can't say for sure right now. The T-800s are no longer obeying orders. Where'd that alien go? Got you. Some nanites. Alright. Fort Geronimo. Got more aliens in here. Sounds like it. Come on up, boys. Ripley sends her regards. Tech 9. Yeah, we have a scar. Kinda ugly, but alright. 44 Magnum. Ooh, combat armor. Nice. Alright, we can make the reactive one now. Is there a crafting bench in here? Size log. Did we already read number 6? Oh, I spoke to Burton about the bunker, and he said I could have it as long as I got to work on the armory operation at every available opportunity. I'll talk him into a more relaxed schedule at another date. He was annoyed enough that I had focused so much of my attention on minor distractions as it was. When I left, I heard him arguing with someone, but there was no one else in the room. I'll worry about that later. He's given me a day to get the place sorted, and Crab and Voss have agreed to help out. Crab even donated a whole load of unused tech, I think partly as a reward for helping him restore a heavily corrupted data registry, and also because I think he's starting to fall for me. Kevin seems to be more than happy to have some new friends, though. He still wants to sleep under the floor. I guess I could use the extra company, too. Crab called me out on my background earlier. He's even smarter than I gave him credit for. I'm pretty sure he tricked me with an iBot of all things. They're common as hell back in DC, but much more of a rarity around these parts. I should have known. Of course, I had to show off and list classified details, the exact levels of classification he later showed me on a graph. For several components, I'm ashamed to say, he put that and the accent together and just talked the rest out of me somehow. Once I explained my real story, he did not mind at all. In fact, he's the deserter from a Brotherhood of Steel division who used to maintain this facility many years ago. He was only a new recruit at the time, and part of a skeleton staff left to maintain the building once Helios 1 became the Brotherhood of Steel's main priority. One night, they were sneak attacked by NCR Rangers, caught by surprise and outnumbered. It did not last long. Crab fled into the mountains east of here, and returned many years later once the NCR had found whatever they came for. It seems we have a lot in common. We are both hated and hunted here, yet at least here we in this place have found a safe haven together. Something big just happened, some kind of explosion not far from here. I thought someone dropped a nuke from the shockwaves. The fort is untouched, but everyone is riled up. They want to find out what's going on, but Burton says we should all stay indoors. There's not even any windows in this place. They got plastered over years ago. Burton keeps telling everyone that we should stay. Hawkins, possibly the most senior member of the militia, did not take this well. I thought the two would come to blows, but somehow Francis talked the situation down. Hawkins headed off in a huff. I don't blame him for wanting to know what has happened. But if a nuke has gone off nearby, we may be in the safest place available already. Hawkins has ignored his orders and headed out with 3 others to recon the local area. I'm relieved, to be honest, especially since all Geiger counters show there's no way a nuke went off. I'm disappointed they did not ask me, though. I guess they still do not see my potential here. Well, not everyone anyway. We're under attack. Many are dead already. I can see on my scanners what looks like robots, unfamiliar design. Shit, these people are not trained for this, and we are. There are 5 of us in here, myself, Crab, Kevin, Mrs. Collins, Trenson from the militia. We've sealed ourselves in the bunker, but I need to persuade Crab to let me out. We should be helping the others, not cowering in here. So a Brotherhood recruit and an Enclave scientist. What an unlikely duo. Kevin's room. Oh god. That thing fucking scared me. Damn it. If that was a real xenomorph, I'd be split in half already. Probably melted too, because I'm getting a lot of their blood on me. Any of these computers work? Okay. Wait, these all go... Okay. They all link up. Alright. Well, I don't see... Let me check the mini-map. But I don't see any other exits or entrances in here. So I guess we'll head out the way we came in. Angel Valley, Geronimo. Alright. I hear a alien growl. That's just my power armor. Oh yeah. Can build that reactive combat armor. Combat armor reactive. Confidence plus 10, DR plus 5, crit chance plus 5. More of you ugly bastards. There's an orange one. Oh god, there's a bunch of you. like a hybrid between a death claw or something. Like, alright, let's find like one more building. What do we got? Geronimo Barracks. Nothing on the terminal. Let's head in. This episode will probably run a little bit long, but I hear you. Displeased. Discovered. Nope. Sunglasses? The answer? Gotta be useful. That's the only way in. You need to find something that they need. That's what Burton doesn't get. He keeps thinking relation alone is enough, but he's an ass. He only cares about himself. Vaz wouldn't listen or understand or both. Francis is too busy imagining how he's gonna spend all his money, and I'm not even gonna bother with Hawkins. In fact, having all of these people around the doors 24/7 is probably the main reason they never open. I hear footsteps. I killed your queen, now I'm coming for you. Get over here. Oh shit. Broke my helmet even more. I want to see how broken it can get before I actually repair it. Spirit. Asbestos-sized logs. Finally, a new place to call home. I heard rumors that no bombs had struck Nevada, but even I was surprised to find an untainted water supplies and fresh food in abundance here. Compared to the horrors of DC, this place is like paradise. They even managed to reach Fort Geronimo. According to restricted data back at Raven Rock, the whole base was still fully operational up to at least 20 years after 2077. Quite a trek from the capital. I sure am glad I made flight lieutenant before transferring to the tech division. Burton seems friendly enough for a self-appointed leader. He looked like he had not seen a human face in years, and indeed, after getting to know each other a little, he revealed that this was indeed the case. Apparently, this entire facility is boxed in at the end of a long valley. Kinda hard to tell the way I got in. No one can get in or out since a group of Deathclaws took up residence not far from the main valley entrance. He told me that they were hassled by a raider gang who somehow found a way into a nearby factory, but they have not seen one of them in nearly a year. Other than them, there is rumor of a gang living somewhere in the town and another small group of wastelanders who have taken up residence in a local lodge, but by the sound of it, they also barricaded themselves in to protect themselves from the Deathclaws and gangs. I asked him why so many people stay here, cut off from the rest of civilization, and it turns out there's more to this place than meets the eye. On top of running water, functional fusion generators, abundant living space, and fairly competent militia, apparently many sections of this facility, including the armory, were sealed at the time of the Great War and never reopened. There's a whole treasure trove of restricted tech stored in this facility, most likely in pristine condition. Burton has had people trying to hack the doors his entire life. I gather, like father, like son, I revealed some experience with computers, and now I get the impression he's convinced I was sent here on a higher purpose. I see no reason to deny him that vision. It will certainly help integrate me with the group. Francis, Burton's second in command, certainly seemed more skeptical about my pre-planned backstory. It seems there's not much call for freelance techies out in the desert. I sure am glad I didn't attempt a Midwestern accent. It's a shame about the vertibird, but it's too far away to arrange for a salvage team. Besides that, I think it's best I keep a low profile. Folks around here already seem suspicious of outsiders. No reason to further fan those flames further by revealing my allegiance to a genocidal organization. Getting here was not exactly a walk in the park either. If it were not for my mountaineering experience, I would have been overwhelmed by the hordes of mutants that somehow survive in the desert. I certainly did not expect Deathclaws out here. I can't believe we actually made those things. So much for worrying about the vertibird. I persuaded Francis to show me around the facility, mostly just to patch up any inconsistencies in my backstory and get in his good books, but also because I wanted to get out of my new room and explore. My room is better than I could have expected, though I do have to share with a quite obsessive lady called Mary. We were even paid a visit by a nice old lady called Mrs. Collins, who brought around a small selection of delicious cakes and pastries. She was very welcoming, though Mary looked at the cakes like they were poison. I almost thought I was being set up, lured into a cannibal trap, until I realized she was just worried about the crumbs. Mary's not great at talking. I made sure to eat very carefully. It turns out she lost her husband many years ago to the Deathclaws and never quite adjusted. I think he may have abandoned her too, but I did not want to pry. She seems nice enough, and it's not like there's any sane people left anyway. It seems like her ultra-clean attitude was enough to drive many others away, though. It suits me fine. Kinda reminded me of my old home at the Rock. Even so, it was a relief to get out and explore. Francis showed me around everywhere, including the hangar where they have several fairly battered but flyable aircraft. I think he was surprised when I let out a gasp, but I covered it by saying I was just astonished by the size of the room. I'm not sure whether he bought it, but he seemed to have other worries on his mind anyway. I tried asking him about it, but he told me to mind my own business, even though he seemed totally open when it came to discussing the facility. I guess Burton has decided I'm trustworthy enough to handle that info. On top of a locked basement armory, they have a mysterious hatch that leads under the main generator of the hangar and about 2 floors of unexplored laboratories above the barracks, all locked out. The reactor hatch looked like a simple job, but he told me they were not interested in it. According to the blueprints, it's little more than a closet. I wonder why a closet would need an industrial strength blast door. Francis said it was fine to look around in my free time, though I was to stay away from the aircraft or antiques as he referred to them. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but I'll be careful. I still don't want any undue attention. Today I decided to get out and socialize with my new companions. The room next door houses anyone who wants it, and they often hold all-night sessions in there. According to Mary, this mostly involves taking homemade jet and listening to some new music called free tech that is being broadcast from somewhere in the local region. I'm not overly concerned as these rooms seem pretty soundproof for the most part. The room next door to that houses all the young'uns. By the sound of it, there's 4 of them, but the oldest, Kevin, was not about anywhere. By the sound of it, he has a bad habit of stealing the others' toys. I'll have to have a word with him at some point. The other adults don't seem interested. No one really knows him. Apparently, he just wandered in someday, aged about 12. To this day, no one knows how he's made it past all the death claws. Beyond that, there's the Robinsons, a friendly enough family of 4, who somehow managed to share the same space despite the fact that each conversation there seems to end up in a full-out vitriolic family argument. Luckily, it seems to be some kind of in-joke, and their constant mid-row attempts to persuade me of this did get quite funny after a while. The militia all share the main barracks. They were all very talkative. They don't see much action, but they do at least have access to extensive training facilities and weaponry. Though I'm informed that ammo is very sparse in supply, to such an extent that all the troops here are trained to collect their fired cases for reloading. There are a couple of gunsmiths who know their way around a reloading bench. I met one, Vaz, who was very pleased to meet me. I could tell he had not been around many women recently, though he fell short of overbearing. Apparently, he's been in charge of the operation to unlock the main armory, although his days are mostly spent at the reloading bench or assigning weapons for the civilians to use on the range. His seemingly mute assistant Sims takes care of the computers. I can see why the operations have failed so far, though I fear even my abilities may be stretched beyond capacity here. Firstly, the whole problem looks like it's deep-rooted in mechanical failure, and to make matters worse, the residents seem to rely more on the knowledge of their forefathers and hypotheses of the scientists who worked here than they do on any kind of actual knowledge about technology. Many even seem under the impression that the electricity itself is alive and a sentient entity in itself. There's heaps of info on the mainframes about uploading actual human consciousness onto permanent virtual world that can be controlled from within. Apparently, after the bombs were launched, many scientists here actually managed to upload their consciousness onto some kind of super mainframe housed somewhere in the building. The residents here seem to have twisted this information to such an extent that they believe that these scientists are actually living in the wires and are governing their actions by manipulating the electronics in the airwaves around them. Vaz at least was skeptical, having read enough manuals on repair and weapons alone to give him a broad and accurate enough summary of the history of humanity to remain relatively sane. I asked him what Burton's views were on the whole deal, and he said that Burton believes his long-dead, very great-grandfather is living in the wires, guiding him, though as we both agreed, if that were the case, then why would the dead old guy not just open the doors for him? Apparently the whole deal drove Burton's father mad too. Anyway, getting tired, I can only type my private thoughts while Mary is asleep. She did not seem to mind once I explained to her what insomnia was. I told her she has actually been a big part of my therapy, and living with her has helped to no end. She was pleased by this. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to do more investigating tomorrow. Very talkative sigh. Training block. All right. Gotcha. Is there any more? Looks like we got them all. Alright. I don't think there's much else here. Except for some nanites. Locked foot lockers. Got all the cards. That was Sims Terminal. We already read that one. Angel Valley. Got little mini ammo boxes. Alright, I think that's everything. I'm going to cut here. Next episode, we will head over to that training block. I know we're at 5 episodes this weekend already. I might do some more later on in the weekend, just depending how much time I have available. So, hope you all enjoyed. You all have a wonderful night, and we will see you all later. Bye-bye. Take care.